Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Today we're gonna go over the iPad mini 6, of course, and I'm not gonna be getting into specs. Everybody already knows those. I'm gonna be talking about my experience using this device over the past 2 months. Now, generally in reviews like this, you'll want to know what kind of user I am. I'll get into that later as I talk about it. Now, the first thing I want to start off with is that the iPad mini is not the king of productivity. Usually, productivity is associated with bigger screen size to let you engage and work on more content. It also doesn't have the top tier chipsets, it doesn't have 120Hz refresh rate, but even with all that aside, it's still really good for productivity. Hear me out. Now, there's some very weird psychology at play here. When I'm going home from work and I'm tired on the train,
anything off the trolley, dear?
I'm still on my phone. I'm still working, but it's just entertainment. So, I'm replying to trolls, I'm listening to tunes, I'm doing all kinds of things. And during those moments, I don't want to go on a laptop or something because those tools are generally associated with productivity. But that's where the iPad shines. It's small. It's easy to consume, it's fun to read off of. It takes up less of your vision than larger products would, like a laptop or an iPad, but it's a lot more productive than being on a phone. Reading columns, answering emails, getting work done is a lot easier and faster on the iPad mini while still being relaxing to use. And that's just something that's hard to put into words. Honestly, in those moments where you're tired, where you're trying to get home, you don't want to commit to something larger, this is going to be the perfect blend between a larger screen size and something that's relaxing to work on. It really must sound like I'm really juicing up the iPad mini, but let me take a step back. Fam, here it is. I'm a chairman of a mini holding company, so I own a little businesses. I'm also a student, and I'm a YouTuber, right? There's no time for me to waste. I'm that guy you won't find in the cafeteria during lunch because I'm at the library working. My point is that if you're not someone who's already trying to be more productive with your time, you're not someone who thinks about every second and where it's going, then in my perspective, this isn't going to make too big of a difference. And I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with, taking your time, taking it easy, relaxing. I say it all the time, take it easy, fam. You can relax. But if you are someone like me, who has a lot on their plate, who is thinking about every second, how you can effectively use every second of your day to make the most out of it, then I've really found that the iPad mini has stuck with me. I haven't given this up over the past 2 months. This has stayed in my bag with my laptop, and honestly, if I'm bringing my phone, I generally, for 95% of the time, I'm bringing my mini as well. So it's a different perspective, but it's my perspective. It's what I've found, a kind of an intimate discovery over the past 2 months of using this device. Ladies and gentlemen, before we go on to the quirks and features that I found as well, if you do enjoy this kind of content, please go ahead and like this video and subscribe to this channel. It really helps out. I'm a small growing channel and the community is great. So the fact that it is USB-C has been a blessing because I don't need to carry multiple chargers around. I only carry one. The same one I used to charge my phone and the same one that I used to charge my iPad mini. So that really has been a lifesaver. And the other thing, when we're talking about battery life, this lives for a day easy. Sometimes it's even been like I've been able to use this for 2 days. Like I said, I'm using this primarily in those periods of time where I'm not doing constant work. So for example, train rides home, walks to the office, cafeteria breaks, things like that. And generally, I also like to use this to consume content in bed because it's super light and it's just a lot of fun to hold as well because of the bezels. And while we talk about content, there's just so much to get into. The screen, first of all, it looks beautiful. It's absolutely gorgeous, doesn't matter what you're watching. But the other thing are the speakers. The speakers have been absolutely astounding. Like, I absolutely love the way this device has sounded. It's blown me away. And I mean, you can see why there's stereo speakers on the bottom and on the top. and both of them are very, very powerful. Now, over the 2 months, I haven't linked this up with any specific accessories. I have thought about getting a folio case for this, but I mean, I've never had the time to actually go out and get it. The other thing that I have that kind of weirded me, this kind of goes back to watching and viewing content, are the volume up and down buttons. The volume button all the way on my right is the volume up, and the one on the left is going to be volume down. Okay, so this one is volume up. When you turn it like this one is still volume up, this one is volume down. But when you go upside down, the one that was volume up now becomes volume down, and the one that was volume down becomes volume up. In other words, the volume button functionalities change based on how you're viewing it and how you're holding the iPad. And that has been quite trippy. I mean, you could probably tell because none of my other devices actually do this. This is the first time that I'm actually engaging in something where the volume buttons switch based on how you're holding the device. It's pretty cool, but I mean, I'm just used to using, you know, one dedicated volume up, one dedicated volume down, so it's a little bit different. I still haven't gotten used to it. I don't think I will. Now, I did say I wasn't going to talk about specs, so I won't get into them too much, but the A15 Bionic chip that is in this iPad has been an absolute powerhouse. I've played some light games on this as well. Again, answering emails, viewing content, Chrome, browsing, all of that stuff, and I've never once even felt the millisecond, like a little drop of thinking, hey, maybe I'm pushing this too hard. Not at all. The A15 Bionic chip is working wonders, and what that also does is makes it kind of future proof. So as updates and things come out, I'm sure for years to come, this device is going to be perfectly fine. What are my thoughts on the iPad mini? Well, like I said, if you're someone like me, someone who is being productive, who's trying to use as much time as possible to be productive, and again, I just want to make this 100% clear, there's nothing wrong with not being productive. There's nothing wrong with just enjoying and relaxing yourself. And I'm not that kind of a user, so I can't comment on how this is going to work out for you guys. You might really enjoy the viewing experience because of how light this is, how nice it is to hold, especially with these bezels. These bezels have not gone in my way. So it's very nice to hold, to view content and stuff like that on a much bigger screen than a regular phone, you know, through this device. So maybe that's something where you might enjoy it. But for productivity focused people like myself, this has been something that's been on me non-stop over the past 2 months. It's just a ton of fun to use, very easy, and the biggest thing, it's refreshing. When I pull this out, it doesn't feel like I'm gonna start doing work. It feels like I'm getting work done, you know. And there's a little bit of a difference. It's a very fine difference, but I think that really characterizes what the iPad mini is. It's not a phone. When you pull out your phone, it's all entertainment, fun, and games. It's not a laptop or an iPad Pro. You know, that's productivity. This is that very fine line in the middle of even other tablets where it's refreshing to get work done on this. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope you enjoyed today's review. If you did, please go ahead and like this video. It really helps out a channel like mine. As you'll notice, if you're a common person here, if you're a common folk, one of us, then you'll notice that the set is a little bit different because everything's the same. So I actually kept every single thing the same. Well, not really. That's just cap. The lighting has changed a little bit, so the backdrop is still the same one you guys are used to. The table is the same, camera, everything is the same. The mic I did change, actually. I hope I sound better. I've just been battling with sound quality, but I changed up the lighting, so the lighting is a little bit different, and it kind of gives you this vibe. So let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Is this something you want to see continuing on my next reviews, or do you want me to go back to the colorful, you know, walla holla? I don't know. Take it easy, fam. Peace.